I am so sick and fucking tired of hearing that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are a Ponzi scheme. Don't you understand that you were born into a Ponzi scheme? It's this world. Where do you get your land? You gotta buy it from someone else. All the money you make, your government's probably gonna take at least of a fucking third of it. Then you go out and buy some stuff and they'll tax you again. And then after you're done getting taxed, you got your little lump of money and you go and buy something. And they tax you on that purchase. And then they tax you, say you bought a car, they tax you annually, if not more, on that. Right? You buy a home. Oh, good job, buddy. And you get your little mortgage. And then before you know it, you get a 5% interest rate on that mortgage. You think historically it's good. And then by the time you pay off that $400,000 house, you ended up paying about $800,000. And then that's not even including personal property tax and home insurance, all the other fees. And mentally, you think you're buying a $400,000 house. Somehow you spent $800,000 or more. But wait, there's more. We're gonna break it all down today. My name's Vosk, and I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people never really told you. It's called the truth. So stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll think I'm crazy or maybe a genius. The fact is, this world isn't set up for you to win. And that's the kind of mindset you have to adopt to break out if you ever do want to win. The other fact is that most people think they want to win, but they actually don't, because they don't put in the effort. They don't just engage the creative thought. They don't bend the rules. They don't think outside the box. Let's just jump straight into the cryptocurrency aspect, right? Yeah, it'd be great to go back in time and get into Bitcoin sooner. And then, you know, it is like a pyramid. The people that get in sooner, they're rewarded more because they're up higher and they have more coins and they bought in for less dollars and whatever else. But that's true for everything, right? Every year your dollars, your USD is worth less than before, especially as we have hit record high inflation numbers. And that's just what they release publicly. You think like we get an 8% inflation number, and what do you think is actually going on? But I don't have the data to prove that, so I don't really want to do speculation. I want to talk about things that we absolutely know. What Bitcoin does fundamentally is it creates a digital currency. Imagine a global digital currency, right? It's what every country always wanted their own currency to be. The US dollar is really the global currency, right? It's the de facto currency. But Bitcoin challenges that, and they're threatened by that. But really, you want the, dark side of this is the government. The US government could really just print as many US dollars as they wanted and then just go and buy up all the Bitcoins. The good news when that happens is that at least you would end up with a lot of USD if you're in Bitcoin. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, a fixed supply, and that is how you counter inflation, especially hidden inflation, and above all, just an unlimited supply. Because that's the deal. If there's no finite amount of any currencies from governments, and even if there was, they have no way to prove it unless they utilize some kind of blockchain technology, a digital ledger on chain, verifiable. Don't trust, verify. That's where that quote comes from in the cryptocurrency sector. Don't take my word for it, man. Go on chain and verify. Go on there and see there's only 21 million coins, or whatever else, whatever you're looking at. And there's other cryptocurrencies that have finite supplies. There's other cryptocurrencies that don't. There's other coins that just do a lot of different things that aren't focused on being a currency. Exactly. And Bitcoin is the original, and it is archaic in a lot of ways. It's not the most usable coin, right? It's completely outpaced by a centralized infrastructure like the Visa, MasterCard, credit card system. Bitcoin has evolved into a digital gold, for better or worse. But the fact is, it's still better than everything else we got going on. I just don't know how people can be such little sheeps and hate on this, right? And you don't have to go and put all your money into it. At a minimum, you could just sit on the sidelines and put some spec on his name. His name's Mr. BTC Orange Coin, just for just challenging the status quo and giving us another option and just shaking up the game to any degree. If you think the government has your best interest in mind, then I don't know how ignorant you are or naive, man. Just think about it. They get you all hyped up on this nonsense, and they take half your money, then they send you to war to die. Great. What a great deal. And look, I support our service members and all that stuff, and honestly, that's my kind of people, and that's really where part of my background kind of puts me in. And so I don't want to come off the wrong way with that or disrespectful, but I'm saying if we kind of zoom out and we take a bigger look at things and you start to really realize what are we fighting for in a lot of these conflicts. Because look, if our liberty is at risk, right, and we're fighting a real war, I'm all about it. I think everyone should also have the right to protect themselves with capable weaponry. So just to get that out there. And I mean, if you want to think of my mindset, I'm libertarian, right? With a little bit of anarchy on there at this point. But unfortunately, the crypto sector has been soured by a lot of things like FUD campaigns, which is basically just BS campaigns trying to brainwash you against it. It's negative propaganda. There's also just the crypto bros and all the wankers that are like, yeah, you know, I bought this and you do this, bro, and I'm like rich now. And I mean, you see somebody and they do some degenerate level stuff, and then they end up with just a bunch of cash, and it can piss you off. And you're like, I worked so hard on my little 9 to 5 and I didn't really get for it. This guy bought a coin that had a dog on it, and now he has $5 million, and it's gonna take me 45 years with my annual salary to make that, and he did it, he says, in one night, right? And I mean, that can really upset you. Who cares if that guy's a lame? Basically, he gambled and won and got lucky. But there's a lot more to this than just buying a meme coin and hoping that it goes to the moon tomorrow, okay? There's a lot of fundamentals behind all of this. And you can sit there and get 0.15% interest if you're lucky on your USD savings account. Or maybe you'll buy a treasury bond and you get 3%. Yippee! The worst returns in cryptocurrencies for stable coins are like 7% right now. Okay, that's more than double. And you have your coins on chain, ready to go and make trades and get involved in the action at any time easily if you want to do so. Why do you think that they don't teach you financials in school? You spend so much time learning about Christopher Columbus, you didn't even know where he was, and the dude got a holiday. And we don't learn about financials. We don't really break down interest rates, and it's gotten a little better, or maybe it's an optional class. But they don't break down your mortgage. They don't break down interest rate. They don't break down, like, okay, like you bought that $50,000 car, but let's say you take a 7-year auto loan on it at 5%, and you pay 5% sales tax. That's gonna put you at $62,000. Where did the 12 grand just go? We bought a $50,000 car, and now we're out 12 grand. But they're like, yeah, don't worry about it, man. You can roll that sales tax into the auto loan. We got you, man, we got you. Of course you got me. You got me dead to rights 7 years, and then in about 7 years, this thing's gonna break. And then I gotta buy a new one or pay thousands of dollars in repairs. Let me guess, you offer those? Yep, of course you do. Good old dealership. But oh, market's hot, COVID, supply chain shortages. Let me guess, I have to pay a premium for the vehicle. Yeah, it's called the market demand's up right now. Oh, well that's good, because I really didn't want this money anyway. That's great. I'm not trying to sound like I'm just freaking crazy today, okay? But just think about it. Like, they don't teach you this stuff, but they want to tell you about the pilgrims. Dude, I don't need to know about the pilgrims. I need to know how this mortgage thing works, how auto loans break down, and interest rates, and you know how all this stuff compounds. And before I know it, I actually paid double for the home I bought. And they want to say that Bitcoin's bad? Like, dude, out of everything that's wrong in this world, that is the least of our problems. Bitcoin's real cool because it's anti-fragile. It's mined. There's miners that mine it, move the coins along, the chain along, all that stuff. What these do is they distribute the network, right? We have all these miners processing these blocks everywhere throughout the world. Then there's also nodes. These are just basically computer servers that also aid in pushing the blockchain forward, to, you know, speak simply. That leads to thousands and thousands and thousands of connections and points and hardware all interacting to just move all this forward and make it decentralized. Okay, let's say you got your little credit card and you got your little digital bank because it's so nice and convenient. But guess what? They don't like you anymore. So they freeze your account. They shut you down, right? And look, you're like, well, I'm not a bad person. I don't do anything bad. And that means I'll always be okay. I'm not trying to sound super conspiracy theorist today, but there's been a lot of people who have said that and thought that, and basically they disappeared one day. Not every person that disappears like that was actually wrong. You ever heard of being silenced? Do you think that humans are perfect beings? They're the farthest thing from it. Every issue in the world is caused by us. There's no dogs nuking other dogs. There's really nothing that kills for fun or pleasure. But there are humans that genocide each other. Sometimes because this guy read a different book than that guy. Let that shit sink in. If I could tell you anything today, it's please think for yourself. Take a deep breath. Take a step back. Challenge what you know, your thoughts, what they told you to believe, what they indoctrinated you to, and just look around. The world is more connected than ever before. And a lot of things are better and or more transparent than ever before. And yet, there's still so many terrible, evil, and just corrupt things happening. There's so much covert propaganda out there still. Blow your mind. Every single metric ever was like, yeah, we've entered a recession. And then the United States White House basically changed the definition of a recession.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says there are not 4, but 5, then how many?
5.
And we all are like smarter and more connected and thus more powerful than ever before. And they're still doing this. And a lot of people still believe it. That's not even the main issue though, is that they're still doing this. What do you think they've done historically? Man, everybody used to get their information from a radio. You couldn't even see anything. You can just divulge and decipher so much information from visuals, body cues. And just the fact that it's so much harder to fake a video than it is to just say whatever the hell you want. Here's a little bit of an aside that blows my mind. A lot of gamers hate cryptocurrency and Bitcoin because of crypto miners, because we've used a lot of multi-purpose hardware along the way, specifically power supplies and of course obviously graphics cards and oftentimes as well CPUs. And they're like weaponized against miners. It's like, dude, you got all the same hardware. You're a nerd. You like this stuff. You're capable. If you're smart enough to install a Steam game, you're smart enough to install a crypto mining rig or mining software. They like just fell into this weird camp of being weaponized. Hey, we should have been united. If you want to mine for nothing other than basically just getting free video games out of the hardware you already own, how could you not be on board with that?
It's free real estate.
But for some reason, they're some of the biggest proponents against cryptocurrency, against Bitcoin, against mining. And I'm just like, man, y'all stupid. Just dumb. We could take every horse to water, but we can't make them all drink. And look, this video isn't even like, go buy Bitcoin, buy my bags. Like, dude, I don't care what you buy. I don't care what you do. I just want to talk about these things because at a minimum, if I die or get killed, I hope that this video survives. And I hope that whenever I die, I can be like, at least I said what I wanted to say. At least I put it out there. Hopefully, I can positively impact people with the content we make here on YouTube. And I've also sunk myself to the lowest lows of my life by also making shorts and TikToks because that's what everybody wants to watch these days because they have the attention span of no more than 60 seconds. Well, you're not going to learn as much in 60 seconds, Jimmy, but guess what? We got shorts too. So follow your boy on TikTok. So, man, I could keep going. I'm fired up. It's hot out here. I'm out here at the farm. We're growing Bitcoins. And it's time for me to head over and play with the cutest dog in the world. And that's actually going to be my personal Dogecoin, Tails, our Shiba Inu, who she's also the CFO, the Chief Farm Officer here the VoskCoin YouTube channel. So if you like this at all, subscribe. If you didn't, subscribe. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts as long as they're good. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.